This is a story about a watch, but it starts with a car. In the post-war boom of the 1950s, automotive racing dominated the American psyche. High-speed interstates and the birth of stock car racing gave rise to race on Sunday, sell on Monday, where manufacturer-backed racing wins led to increased sales. Then, in 1953, at the Waldorf Astoria in New York, General Motors upped the ante with America's first real sports car, the Corvette. 10 years later, and after a good showing at the 24 Hours of Le Mans, GM engineer Zora Arkus Duntov debuted his version of America's sports car. The C2 Corvette was mean, low, space-age, and made available with high horsepower engines, large gas tanks for racing, sintered metallic brakes, and aluminum wheels. The car was ready to go racing the way engineers always imagined. One problem: General Motors was not. In 1963, GM joined a ban on motorsports racing, and even the Corvette Grand Sports barely saw any use. But the story doesn't end here. In 1965, the oil company Sunray DX was seeing the success that other companies like Shell and Mobil were having from going racing, and they wanted a piece of the action. So in 1967, Sunray DX hired legendary race car driver and Chevrolet dealer Dom Yenko to build a car and a team. Don was able to order an L88 Corvette, the internal code given for a 427 cubic inch V8 that made over 520 horsepower. In fact, Yenko and Sunray DX got the very first L88 car ever made. The Sunray DX team would race for the next 3 years, racking up wins and, not incidentally, dramatically increasing sales. To commemorate the success of the car, select team members were given a very rare, special edition Heuer Carrera imprinted with the Sunray DX logo, including this watch to Dom Yenko's friend and pilot, Gary Goss. The Heuer Carrera was designed by Jack Heuer in 1963 and named after the Carrera Pan America, an endurance race through Mexico. It, like L88, was built to go racing.